Hello and welcome back. Today's video is an update for my Shop My Stash makeup basket. I do this video about every 2 to 3 weeks and I pick 4 to 5 items to use in conjunction with Project Pan items just because I do not want to be ignoring makeup products in my collection while I Project Pan certain items. And I usually end up using the items in my Shop My Stash maybe 3 or 4 times, sometimes more, kind of depending, but it's just a nice way to rotate through things. My last 2 updates, I used a random number generator to do this roulette style to get the products selected randomly. Now this time I have decided to go back to the traditional way of where I go through my makeup drawers and pick the items myself, but I loved the roulette style because it was random, and I realized that before that I was kind of picking the same products over and over again. I may go back to that at some point, but yeah. So the first half I will be recapping the products I had in my last Shop My Stash, and then the second half I will be picking out new products. And if you're interested, I have a whole Shop My Stash playlist and Project Pan playlist. Those will be in the description box. And also I did do a recent makeup declutter. I didn't declutter a whole lot, just a few things, but I will link that as well if you are interested, and let's get into it. Alrighty, for a lip product, I had the ColourPop The Strand, just a tint, lippy tint. I actually really do like these. They aren't super pigmented, but they do leave a nice sheen, and this color is a really pretty pink, and I've worn this in several videos, and I did even wear this in a tutorial in my She's and Parties Shop My Stash video if you want to see that. It's really, really nice, and I know a lot of people don't really like these, but I actually think it's great, and I have 3 of them, so I'm glad that I got some use out of that. The blush that had been randomly selected is Ofra Mai Tai, and this is one of my favorite blushes. I'm so happy that I used it. It is a very bright orange type color, and I actually did wear this in my July favorites video where I did a tutorial at the end of that video, so you can check that out if you are interested. And it's a beautiful orangey coral type blush. It is matte, and yeah, this is beautiful. One of my favorite blushes. I'm really happy that I used it. I have not been wearing complexion products as much lately. A lot of days I have just been wearing just eyeshadow and brows just for simplicity's sake, but I did get to use these products some, which is very exciting, and I wore them in a lot of my videos actually. The highlighter, wow, I love this. I'm so happy that I used it. This is the Undone Beauty Nonser 4-in-1 highlighting palette. This was sent to me for review purposes, and I really do love it. I've had it for a while, and they do sell this brand at Target. This highlighter is so pretty, and I like that the stripes are big enough that you can actually get your brush in there. I was wearing this in several videos. I think it was in my Finish 8 by Halloween Project Pan intro, and a lot of people commented. I mean, it's a purple highlighter, but it's really, really pretty. Obviously, you could use these more pinky tones, and there is a gold as well. Yeah, this color was so pretty. I loved wearing that, and yeah, people seemed to like it quite a bit. So this is beautiful. One of my favorite highlighting products in my collection, therefore I'm really happy that I got use out of that. Then the eyeshadow palette that had been randomly selected is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded, and this I didn't use as much. I feel like I used the other things more just because I've been really focused on my Pan That palette, and I have so many other eyeshadow palettes and Project Pans right now, like my Pie Project Pan, so it's kind of a lot, honestly, but I did use this I think 3 times. Yeah, I mean, you've seen this palette a million times. It is a neutral palette. It is a very warm tone, and I mentioned this in my last video. I know a lot of people compare this to the Sultry palette. I do own that palette, and they're actually nothing alike because the Sultry palette is very, very cool toned, whereas this is very, very warm toned. There may be a few shades that are similar, but overall, my opinion, quite actually different palettes, even though at first glance they may seem similar. Probably, I'm trying to think of what shades I used. The matte shades for sure. And I know I did a look with this color here, Distilled, which is just a really pretty bronze. And I know a lot of people don't really like this palette. I actually do like it. I think it is very, very nice. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, if you have several other warm tone palettes, you definitely don't need this one, but I actually enjoy it quite a bit. And yeah, I'm happy that I got some use out of it. Alrighty, so that is it for the recap portion of the video. Now let's get into picking some new products. Let's start with lipstick because I do want to pick a lipstick. I'm going to skip over lip gloss though because I have several in Project Pans right now. So let's see here. MAC Velvet Teddy. I feel like this has been in Shop My Stash quite a bit, and I've used this lipstick a lot. I still do want to finish it at some point, but somehow I have not gotten around to that. Another one is this Chanel lipstick, which is a pretty pinky coral. I actually really do like this, and I don't think I've used this in, oh my gosh, probably 6 months, maybe more, which is sad, and I've had this for a while. This is in 426. Let's see here, ColourPop, Cinderella. This is actually one of my favorite blue-based pinks. Super, super pretty. These are newer ones from Propa Beauty. Very pretty brownish one there, and then this is kind of like an orangey nude. Super pretty. Need to use those more. Another one. Okay, this for a long time was my favorite lipstick. This is Urban Decay in 1993, one of their comfort mattes. It's essentially a brown. This is beautiful. This, oh gosh. All right, you know what? Now that I'm seeing this, I think I need to use this because this is about maybe 2.5 years old. And yeah, I did have some lip products go bad, which I did show in that declutter. I will link that if you want to see that. So I'm trying to be very cautious, and I do not want to buy any more lipstick for a very long time because unfortunately most of these will expire. All right, here is the blush drawer, and let's see. ColourPop and I Need Space. I enjoy this one quite a bit. Very mauve-y neutral shade. I use that fairly often. Another favorite, the Physicians Formula. I use that pretty often as well. Ooh, here's one that I was using this a ton and then the packaging broke, so I got a little frustrated with that. This is Essence in Satin Love. This is really, really beautiful. And another one actually, this Milani in Tea Rose. Very pretty, also kind of a neutrally mauve. And Too Faced Baby Love. I've hit pan on this one. Again, haven't used it in a while. Yeah, I gotta say, I have not been wearing complexion products as much. A lot of days I've just worn eyeshadow because of the whole mask thing, you know, which is okay, but I do want to get more use out of my products. So actually, I think I'm going to go with the Essence because I don't think I've used this probably since the beginning of the year, sadly. All right, here's the highlighter drawer, and I want to make a selection from here as well. One that I'm kind of considering is this Makeup Geek palette. I love this. This was that Kathleen Lights collab. And obviously I've hit pan on this one. I've used it quite a bit, but don't think I've used that in a couple months. Another one I know that has been neglected for sure is this Milani one. This is in Strobe Light. This is actually really, really pretty. One of the best from the drugstore, I think. Another from ColourPop. This is the Gimme More palette. This also is something I've just not reached for as much as my other highlighter palettes. I use these two all the time. I'm wearing this in this video. I'm wearing a combination of Forever Lit and Forever Young. This is amazing. And then this I also use all the time. This is the Sugar Glow Kit. Fantastic. Absolutely love these. They are higher quality than the ColourPop, I will say. All right, I've decided to just go with the Milani because I know it's been many, many months since I've used this. Alrighty, we are on to eyeshadow palettes. And I opened up this drawer because this has my Juvia's Place palettes and also my Z palettes. I kind of want to pick a Z palette because I've mentioned before I tend to forget to use these, which is very, very sad. I have some depotted shades in here and also single eyeshadows. Let's see here. So this one is labeled ColourPop. This is a Shop Missy magnetic palette. These are so good and they are really cheap. So as you can tell, this is some of the smaller depotted ones from the ColourPop palettes, and then also some single eyeshadows. This, as you can tell, looks kind of destroyed. This is what I used to make my Franken shadow for my Pan That palette. If you saw my last Pan That palette update, I did make a Franken shadow and it turned out well. So I just use this because I'm like, I'm not using these depotted shades anyway. I might as well do something useful with them. Okay, so this is an option. Let's see, what is in the rest of these? Okay, here's another depotted one. This is the Menagerie Cosmetics Feral Palette. This is an Anastasia highlighter. These three are from Inglot. This is a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow, Wetnwild Brulee. And these three are so beautiful. Those are from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette that they had a while ago. I still use these shades and they are absolutely fantastic. I will say I've kind of forgotten about the Menagerie palette because I depotted it. So that's kind of a bummer. There's some good eyeshadows in that one. That may be a good option. Let's see what's in the rest of these. This is a ColourPop palette. I will say these ColourPop palettes, they're not as high quality. It's kind of flimsy and it's bending. So I would actually recommend the Shop Miss A palettes over these. So this is a combination of Coastal Scents and ColourPop and indie brands. There's kind of a lot of stuff in here. I have done a whole video on my favorite single eyeshadows. So I've talked about most of these on my channel. I'll link that if you want to see that. That would be a good option. And let's see. This is a lot of depotted ColourPop here. These three are the old Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and these two are Coastal Scents. This is a great palette. I have so many beautiful shades in these palettes, and it's so sad that I'm just letting them go. This one I will say I do use fairly often. This is my Colorful palette, and this is mostly Coastal Scents with a few others. This I do use fairly often. This one is a combination of, again, Coastal Scents and indie brands, and then these are three new ones from the Makeup Geek line. Oh gosh, I don't know. Now I'm like looking at these and they kind of all are looking the same. I'll just go ahead and show you the rest since we are doing this. These are depotted Juvia's Place, mostly the Magic palette. The top four are from the Nubian 2. And then this one is mostly, again, this is mostly all Coastal Scents. Yeah, I think that these are all Coastal Scents, and I've done videos on all my Coastal Scents eyeshadows. And then these four are the Cleonad Glitter Multi-Chromes, which are absolutely amazing eyeshadows. All right, well, after some internal debate over here, I decided to go with this one, which again, this is a combination of indie brands, ColourPop, and some Coastal Scents, which tends to be pretty much what's in most of my magnetic palettes. Alrighty, that is it for my Shop My Stash. I'm pretty excited. I'm very excited to use this palette because I want to get use out of these magnetic palettes. I've put a lot of time and money into organizing them, so I want to go with this one. I'm very excited. If you are interested, my whole Shop My Stash playlist will be in the description box, along with a recent declutter video as well. That is it. Thank you so much for watching.